calling Asspizza the fashion Basquiat of our generation is definitely an overstatement and will most likely get me shot by the YMs. But his influence on the fashion industry and the movement he cultivated is notable, which is why we will discuss Austin's come up and how he made it all happen to feed you some motivation to start doing something in your empty life. Austin Butts was born in Queens, New York in 1998, living a pretty average life. He first got into the graffiti scene where him and father Steve would create Instagram accounts to show their works as graffiti artists. Austin would randomly choose the username Asspizza, which is where the name comes from. His first few posts on the account were basically just him hanging around in New York City doing graffiti, but it was interesting enough to catch the attention of Luka Sabbat, who nowadays is a well-known model and actor. But at that time, he was just a kid in the streetwear scene who had a decent social media following. He liked Asspizza's work and decided to shout him out on Twitter, giving him a boost in popularity. And that shout out alone single-handedly jump-started everything for Austin. However, all of the new followers were people who loved streetwear and had nothing to do with graffiti. And one of those people happened to be Ian Connor, who at that time was one of the biggest names in all of streetwear. Anything and everything he approved of was destined to become the next big thing, and Austin was lucky enough to get Ian's approval in 2013. Ian's cult-like following was transferred to Austin, where everything he wore became cool just because he was wearing it. Even Austin himself was confused on how people were calling him an icon for wearing the same pair of jeans every day with a random t-shirt. But this is what Asspizza exactly needed to build his soon-to-be fashion empire. And you can build your very own fashion empire using Shopify. Get 3 months of premium for just $1 using our exclusive link in the description. In 2014, Austin began customizing clothes for the first time. He developed a really unique style that is directly influenced from his graffiti days, which left a lot of fans and even celebrities wanting to buy his works, and one of them being Wiz Khalifa, whom Ian Connor at that time was styling him, and that would drive the demand through the roof. However, Austin was a smart kid. He understood the scarcity model and the importance of building hype and exclusivity. The only way to access Asspizza's pieces would be either buying it off reselling websites or being lucky enough to catch him passing them out. Austin's fascinating success at just 16 would attract fashion magazines' attention to write articles about him, pushing his name out to the mainstream fashion industry, and one of them being the Rolling Stone in 2015. It felt like everything was going in Austin's way. The infamous Austin and Ian Connor beef started because of a Theater article that talks about Asspizza and his success. But surprisingly, Ian was never mentioned in the article, even though he was truthfully a significant part of Austin's come up. On the day the article came out, Ian went on Twitter ranting about Austin. Not long after this, John Ross released a video on Twitter.
John Ross. Sorry, John Ross. Sorry, Ian. I'll leave y'all alone. Thanks, Ian. You helped me in the beginning. I'll leave y'all alone.
This beef also yielded the infamous Carti and Heron fight.
What's up? Hey, don't touch the cart. Don't touch.
Where Carti was throwing hands defending Ian and Heron was defending Austin. Asspizza had to see the downside of fame, and from the way he was acting, he wasn't all happy about it. Regardless, Austin and Ian are good now. In 2016, when Kanye West released The Life of Pablo, Austin saw an opportunity. Instead of waiting in line for the pop-up shop, he screen printed his own replica versions of the merch and sold them outside at a lower price. If I did that, I would most likely get arrested. But surprisingly for Austin, the employees at the shop didn't shut him down. They invited him inside to sell his designs. They were even co-signed by Virgil Abloh and Heron Preston. Even Kanye himself reportedly loved them. In 2017, Austin launched his first official collection under Asspizza. It was handmade pieces featuring his signature logo. However, everything was made to order. Some customers started accusing Austin of scamming them since shipping was taking too long. PayPal even deactivated his account, and that was a major setback for Austin in terms of both money and his brand image. However, Austin came up with a solution. He launched the No Shipping Tour, where he would sell his clothes at in-person meetups. More recently, Austin has been shifting his focus towards the 730 Studios, which serves as a hub for future projects including clothing drops and creative collaborations. Both the number 730 and the Carl's Jr. logo became a major part of his brand. He even got the approval of the company itself to use their logo in his pieces. In a significant milestone, Austin decided to make his entry in the sneaker industry, which is known for its its really high entry costs by introducing the 730 footwear. The release came in two colorways, black and orange, featuring the iconic 730 on the sides. The shoe garnered attention for its unique features and design elements. In 2023, he released the muffins in different colorways, another hit from Austin. Demonstrating his dedication to craftsmanship, Austin moved to Tennessee and established print shop facilities to produce his apparel in-house. This move allows for greater creative control and enables him to expand his creative output in terms of both quality and quantity. Another inspiring move by Austin. In June 2022, under the Asspizza brand, Austin opened his first official art gallery in New York City at 481 Broadway, entitled Artist of the World. The gallery showcased his diverse artistic talents, including embroidered canvases designed to resemble spray paint. Recently, Austin has made a notable return to YouTube, sharing content that highlights his commitment to a healthier and more mindful lifestyle.
Yeah, my main thing with health is just trying to avoid all like processed bullshit and chemicals and shit like that. I haven't ate fast food in like 3 years, 4 years almost. That shit, it alters your fucking brain and your body, and it makes you a fucking weirdo. So.
Despite these personal developments, he continues to infuse his videos with the spontaneous and playful energy that his audience love.